Prince Harry explains why his sister was always a secret. The royal family has consistently been at the centre of media attention and public scrutiny, particularly following Harry and Meghan's choice to separate from the Windsor family. This move brought to light a startling revelation that had been kept under wraps for decades. Harry has a secret sister who was deliberately shielded from public view. This video will delve into the reasons behind the secrecy of Prince Harry's sister, stemming from a love triangle that nearly caused the monarchy's downfall. To fully grasp the incredible tale of Laura Lopes, it's essential to first get acquainted with royal history and the figures who fueled the fires of controversy. Today we'll delve into the royal family, also recognized as the House of Windsor, which took its name in 1917. The change from the German Saxe-Coburg-Gotha was a response to anti-German feelings spreading across Europe after World War I. The current sovereign, King Charles III, is the great-grandson of the House of Windsor's founding king, King George V. Being one of Queen Victoria's 20 grandsons, George V was initially not expected to inherit the throne since he was third in line. Nonetheless, the trajectory of his life changed with the demise of his brother, Prince Albert Victor, in 1910. Following his brother's passing, George assumed the throne in 1910, serving as the King of England and the Emperor of India until his death in 1936. Today's royal family traces its lineage back to King George V. King Charles's great-grandmother was Queen Mary, a royal by birth with King George III as her grandfather. Interestingly, Mary was initially engaged to Prince Albert Victor, King Edward VII's eldest son. However, after Albert Victor's untimely death, she consented to marry his brother, who would be known as King George V. Their union in 1893 produced 6 offspring, with 2 of them eventually ascending to the throne. George V's and Queen Mary's firstborn Edward became King Edward VIII. Following his father's death in 1936, Edward ascended the throne but caused turmoil mere months into his rule, with his intent to wed Wallis Simpson, an American who had been divorced. Edward's position as the monarch, concurrently the head of the Church of England, was at odds with her divorce status, since the Church disapproved of remarriage when a former spouse was still living. Facing opposition from the Church and the government, Edward faced a pivotal moment and chose to abdicate the throne in December 1936. His brother Albert stepped up, becoming King George VI and the father of Queen Elizabeth II. Edward's tenure as king was notably brief, just 326 days, marking one of the shortest in the nation's history. He came to be known as Duke of Windsor post-abdication and went on to marry Simpson in 1937. This episode of personal sacrifice for the sake of maintaining royal protocol and tradition foreshadows future challenges faced by the House of Windsor. After Edward's abdication, Albert rose to kingship as King George VI. He wed Lady Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, and they had 2 children, Princess Margaret and the one who would be Queen Elizabeth II. George's reign saw the end of the British Empire and the emergence of the British Commonwealth, with George as the inaugural head of the Commonwealth and the last Emperor of India. Upon his passing in 1952 at the age of 56, George was succeeded by his daughter. Queen Elizabeth II, born in 1926, became the direct heir apparent after her father, George VI, took the throne in 1936. She was betrothed to Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark in 1947, having first met him at the tender age of 13. They united in marriage in 1947 and welcomed 4 children: Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward. Following the demise of George VI in 1952, Elizabeth claimed the throne, eclipsing records as the monarch with the longest reign and the longest life in British history. Her reign spanned an impressive 70 years until her passing in 2022, marking an era that set her apart from her predecessors. Her tenure, filled with personal turmoil, public controversies, intense scrutiny and sorrow, paved the way for her son Charles to assume the throne in 2022. King Charles III now presides as the sovereign of the United Kingdom, the head of the Commonwealth, safeguarding a myriad of secrets and embroiled in numerous scandals. Born in 1948, Charles, the firstborn of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, has a rich educational background with stints at various institutions including Cambridge University, Cheam and Gordon Stone. and has served in both the Royal Air Force and the Navy. Notably, he became the first heir to the British throne to earn a university degree, setting precedents in various aspects of royal protocol and being at the heart of a love triangle that has left an indelible mark on his legacy, the lives of his children, and the memory of his late wife. Diana Frances Spencer was born on the 1st of July 1961 in Norfolk into the family of John Spencer, Viscount Althorp, and Frances Spencer, Viscountess Althorp, alongside her 3 siblings. During her childhood, Diana lived at Park House, a property leased from Queen Elizabeth II on the Sandringham estate, referring to the Queen as Aunt Lilibet. From a young age, Diana had a keen affection for animals, particularly her pets, which included gerbils, hamsters, a pony, and notably a white guinea pig named Peanuts, who snagged the top prize at a local pet competition. In 1967, her parents, John and Frances Spencer, parted ways after Frances left with a married businessman. This led to Lady Diana attending various boarding schools throughout Europe. By the age of 16, Diana moved back to England, where she served as an au pair for an American family. It was in November 1977 that Diana first encountered Charles, who was 29 at the time and romantically involved with her sister, Sarah Spencer. Their initial meeting seemed to make a memorable impact on Diana, who couldn't wait to share the details with her classmates. "I made a lot of noise and he liked that, and he came up to me after dinner, and we had a big dance," recounted Diana. In November 1978, Diana attended a palace dance, but the ensuing 2 years saw minimal contact between her and Charles. It wasn't until 1980, during a country weekend gathering, that Charles began to seriously consider Diana as a potential partner. Following her invitation to join a sailing trip on the Royal Yacht Britannia, Diana's relationship with Charles advanced, leading to her then being asked to visit Balmoral Castle to meet the royal family. There she made a positive impression on the Queen and other key royal figures. Diana's presence at Balmoral did not go unnoticed by the paparazzi, igniting a media storm. In January 1981, Prince Philip sent Charles a letter pressing him to make a decision: propose to Diana or end the relationship to protect her reputation. Charles interpreted this as a directive. So on February 6, 1981, he popped the question at Windsor Castle, expecting Diana to need time to ponder. However, she accepted immediately, to his astonishment. The couple went public with their engagement 18 days later, a moment marked by a notably awkward exchange. When quizzed by a reporter about their feelings, Diana affirmed, "Of course," while Charles's response was less definitive, "whatever in love means." Post-engagement, Diana moved into Buckingham Palace until their wedding. Her biographer later revealed Diana's sense of profound isolation during this period. Her marriage to Charles marked her as the first Englishwoman to wed the heir to the throne in over 3 centuries, and distinguished her as the only royal bride to have been employed in a paid position prior to joining the royal family. This aspect of her life story made Diana a figure with whom the wider British populace could easily connect and empathize. Despite her aristocratic roots, Diana's early life was considerably ordinary, earning her the endearing moniker of the People's Princess, a title that was solidified through her later acts of kindness and defiance against traditional royal customs. Diana Spencer assumed the title of Princess of Wales at the young age of 20 when she wed Charles on July 29, 1981. Broadcast to an audience of 750 million people around the globe, the lavish ceremony at St. Paul's Cathedral also attracted over 600,000 onlookers who thronged the streets. In a moment of human error, Diana switched the order of Charles's names during the vows and notably excluded the word obey, a departure from the conventional script which drew some disapproval. Yet her sincerity resonated with the public, presenting a relatable and refreshing image of what royalty could represent. Beneath the ceremonial joy, both bride and groom were dealing with their own troubles. It is said that on the eve of their wedding, Diana found a bracelet that Charles intended for Camilla Parker Bowles, marked with initials representing Camilla's nickname from Charles. In turn, it was rumored that Charles was emotionally torn about Camilla, who was an ex-lover and a future affair while still married to her first husband. Camilla's role in this saga is significant, including her involvement in keeping Lauren Lopez away from public scrutiny. As Charles grappled with his feelings, Diana was also fighting her battle with bulimia and coping with the truth of Charles's unfaithfulness as she approached marriage, heightening her sense of isolation. Their first official appearance as husband and wife was in October of 1981. On their visit to Wales, Diana was the centre of public affection, with throngs of people clamouring, "We want Diana," and largely ignoring Charles. This overwhelming adoration for Diana persisted throughout her life, to the extent that Diana-mania became a widely recognised term. In a groundbreaking move, Diana became known for her support of AIDS patients in the 1980s, challenging the prevalent negative stigma associated with the disease at the time. Remarkably, Diana shattered royal precedents in 1987 by willingly engaging in physical contact with AIDS patients, marking her as the inaugural British royal to exhibit such compassion. HIV does not make people dangerous to know. You can shake their hands and give them a hug. Heaven knows they need it. What's more, you can share their homes, their workplaces, and their playgrounds and toys, Diana expressed, advocating for empathy and understanding towards those living with AIDS. Her progressive views on global issues clashed with the traditional perspectives held by Queen Elizabeth. The Queen reportedly advised Diana against her active support for AIDS patients, suggesting she focus on something more pleasant instead. Diana, however, stood firm in her principles, causing further strain in her already tense relationship with the royal family. Because YouTube will prioritize interactive videos. Please comment OK if you find this video interesting. Thank you. Following the highly publicized end of her marriage to Charles, Diana ventured to South Africa. There, she collaborated with Nelson Mandela to establish a fund aimed at aiding those affected by AIDS. Diana's determination to leverage her fame for philanthropy endeared her even more to the public. Her genuine humanitarian approach to her royal duties offered a perspective that the public had not seen or had access to with previous members of the royal family. In November 1981, it was announced that Diana was expecting. Merely 12 weeks after conception, Diana experienced a fall down a staircase at Sandringham. Fortunately, she suffered only minor bruises. In a candid revelation, Diana later admitted that the fall was a deliberate act, stemming from deep-seated feelings of self-disdain and inadequacy, reflecting the torment she endured in her problematic marriage to Charles, who harbored affection for another. The birth of Prince William in 1982 was followed by Diana's struggle with postpartum depression, shedding light on her private battles amidst her public life. Diana welcomed Prince Harry into the world 2 years after Prince William's birth. It's believed that during this pregnancy, Diana and Charles shared a period of strong connection, despite Diana withholding Harry's gender from Charles, who wished for a daughter. Nonetheless, this semblance of harmony was short-lived, as severe problems emerged within just 5 years of their union. These troubles would ultimately shape the destinies of Princess Diana, Charles, Camilla, and the undisclosed royal sister. The marriage of Diana and Charles had grown increasingly strained by 5 years in. In 1986, Diana initiated a romantic involvement with James Hewitt, the family's ex-riding instructor. Speculation was rampant in the media, with some suggesting Hewitt was Harry's real father due to their resemblance. However, Hewitt has fervently refuted such claims, stating his relationship with Diana began 2 years post Harry's birth. Concurrently, Charles was deeply enmeshed in his affair with Camilla, driving Diana to a breaking point. In a bold confrontation at a birthday party in 1989, Diana addressed Camilla, acknowledging her awareness of their affair and expressing her frustration with being overlooked and underestimated by the royals. By 1992, attempts by the royal family to quell the issues had failed, and leaked tapes of both Charles and Diana surfaced, openly acknowledging their marital strife and hinting at both parties having affairs, further tarnishing their public image. In that pivotal year, Andrew Morton's exposé Diana, Her True Story, hit the shelves, igniting an uproar over its candid portrayal of Diana's turmoil over Charles's extramarital relationship. This led to intense speculation on Charles's eligibility for the throne should he divorce Diana and remarry Camilla, given the Church's stringent divorce policies reminiscent of King Edward VIII's abdication. Subsequently, Prime Minister John Major publicly declared Charles and Diana's separation. In a bid to salvage his reputation, post the eruption of Camilla Gut, a scandal stemming from the public leak of intimate conversations between Charles and Camilla in 1993. Charles orchestrated a documentary project that shadowed him for 18 months. Contrary to his intentions, the documentary did little to ameliorate his public standing. When probed on his fidelity within the marriage, Charles's admission, yes, yes, until it became irretrievably broken down. Us both having tried, and his acknowledgement of Camilla as an enduring presence in his life, only added fuel to the fire. Not long after, Camilla and Andrew Parker Bowles announced their divorce. In a notable interview with Martin Bashir, Diana poignantly remarked on her marriage's demise, attributing it to a tripartite dynamic. Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded. This candid admission preceded the official termination of her marriage to Charles. Diana emerged primed for a thriving philanthropic chapter brimming with promise and zest. Yet, her life took a tragically abrupt turn on August 31, 1997, as she perished in a notorious car accident, spawning widespread public conjecture and accusations. Diana's passing plunged the world into profound grief. Adored far and wide, she bridged a unique connection with people globally, in ways unimagined by her contemporaries. Utilizing the sorrowful event, Charles sought to gradually legitimize his relationship with Camilla, even confirming to a British newspaper that Camilla had been introduced to Prince William. However, this move was met with disapproval from the Queen and the general populace, disheartened by the affair. The Queen's notable absence from Charles's 50th birthday celebration, attributing to Camilla's presence, spoke volumes. Yet by 2000, attitudes seemed to be shifting, with Queen Elizabeth II attending a Highgrove event where Camilla was present, subtly endorsing their association publicly. Nonetheless, public sentiment remained largely unchanged. The widespread adoration for Diana and the fresh wound of her tragic departure made Camilla's association with Charles distasteful to many. Camilla's embodiment of the monarchy's archaic aspects did little to endear her to the public. The consensus was clear. Apart from Charles and perhaps Camilla herself, no one was ready to see her fill Diana's void. Camilla Parker Bowles. Transitioning from being labelled as Britain's most hated woman to becoming the Queen Consort wasn't a small feat. Following the upheaval caused by Diana's untimely demise, Camilla and Charles's romance was relegated to the sidelines. Diana had once called her a Rottweiler, and the epithet of the most hated woman in Britain was testament to the public's scorn. Following some difficulty in gaining the Queen's endorsement, Charles and Camilla settled into Clarence House. In an effort to quell public displeasure, the royal family assured that taxpayer money was not spent on Camilla's private quarters. The couple faced the daunting task of restoring their reputations. Camilla was indispensable to Charles, inciting swift strategizing. Their approach mainly involved keeping Camilla away from the public eye during many events, a strategy that was far from being their last act of privacy. Gradually, they were spotted together more frequently, from arriving jointly at celebrations to public appearances at sports events, and even occasionally seen together at royal ceremonies. By 2004, Camilla became a regular companion at Charles's public endeavours, leading to media speculation about a potential remarriage. Polls from the same year suggested that the majority endorsed the notion of their union. Despite taking steps to amend her image, Camilla faced ongoing criticism, particularly from staunch adherents of Diana, who voiced their discontent through letters to editors. In 2005, the announcement of Charles and Camilla's engagement was followed by their nuptials, awarding her the title Duchess of Cornwall rather than Princess of Wales. The Queen, although absent from the wedding service, subsequently hosted a reception at Windsor Castle. With Charles's rise to the throne on September 8, 2022, Camilla's role evolved into that of the Queen Consort. Queen Elizabeth II once conveyed, "When in the fullness of time my son Charles becomes king, I know you will give him and his wife Camilla the same support that you have given me." She added, "And it is my sincere wish that when that time comes, Camilla will be known as Queen Consort as she continues her own loyal service." After the Queen's demise later that year, Camilla acceded to the title of Queen Consort over 5 decades since her first encounter with Charles. The stage is set to unveil the story of Camilla's elusive daughter and the royal family's unknown princess. Enter Laura Parker Bowles, the hidden half-sibling of Prince Harry and Prince William. From their early years, William, Harry and Laura were profoundly affected by their parents' involvement in a highly controversial love triangle, which inevitably strained their relationship and resulted in them growing apart over time. Based on insights from a 2010 publication titled Harry and William, it's reported that William and Laura had contentious interactions. According to the book, William and Laura used to have terrible fights over who was to blame for their broken families. William pointed fingers at Camilla for the pain inflicted upon his mother, leading Laura to vehemently defend her mother. Laura stood her ground, countering William's accusations with, "Your father has ruined my life." This exemplifies Laura's early exposure to criticism, primarily because of the widespread condemnation her mother faced following the aftermath of Diana's passing and Charles's public unfaithfulness. Having grown up under the intense scrutiny of the public sphere, Laura opted from a young age to maintain a low profile to safeguard her self-esteem. Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles, has carved out a distinct path for himself as a British food author with 7 cookbooks to his name. His work has gained recognition in notable publications like GQ and Esquire, and he has participated as a guest judge on culinary shows, including MasterChef and The F Word. Because YouTube will prioritize interactive videos, please comment OK if you find this video interesting. Thank you. While Tom has embraced public attention, Laura, transitioning to her role as the king's stepdaughter, has chosen a markedly different path. Prioritizing her privacy, Laura, an art curator, changed her surname following her marriage to Harry Lopez, an ex-Calvin Klein model turned accountant, in 2006. Laura's personal life stands in contrast to the public profiles of other Windsor family members, arguably a consequence of witnessing her mother endure harsh public criticism. Nonetheless, in recent times, Camilla has increasingly incorporated mentions of her daughter in her public appearances, drawing Laura into a somewhat more visible position. Laura, who works as an art curator, is known to make occasional appearances on the red carpet for art-related events. Her decision to keep a distance from the royal family, especially during its current Windsor period, is a choice many close to her have highlighted. The newest generation of royal couples has faced a lot of public attention and privacy breaches, reviving the public's fascination with their lives. The dynamic between Prince Harry, Prince William, and their wives, Meghan and Kate, has significantly piqued public interest, reminiscent of the past media coverage surrounding Diana, Camilla, and Charles. This cycle of attention suggests history is echoing itself. Kate Middleton became Prince William's wife on April 29, 2011. Kate, originally from Bucklebury in Berkshire, pursued art history in college. She spent her early years working in retail and engaging in charity work. In 2001, she met William, the next in line for the British throne, and they began dating. Kate was introduced to the public as an elegant and naturally graceful figure. She quickly won over the people with her contemporary vibrancy and royal demeanor. In 2010, William asked Kate to marry him with the same engagement ring that belonged to his mother, Princess Diana. Their marriage was a global spectacle, drawing an estimated 300 million viewers worldwide, with another 26 million people watching from Britain. Kate's marriage was much awaited, marking a renewal in royal fashion, social engagement, and activities, capturing widespread public attention. This event also heralded her role as the Duchess of Cambridge, a title she would carry for 10 years until 2022, when she was named Princess of Wales after King Charles III appointed William as the Prince of Wales. Kate quickly endeared herself to the public, many of whom saw echoes of Diana in her, yet this parallel began to shift with Meghan Markle's entrance onto the scene. Meghan symbolized a significant shift within the Windsor lineage. As an American and former actress of mixed heritage, Meghan was met with immediate and harsh judgment and hostility upon the revelation of her relationship with Prince Harry in 2016. The mounting criticism against Meghan prompted the royal household to publicly decry the mistreatment she faced, highlighting the severity of harassment by stating, He knows commentators will say this is the price she has to pay and that this is all part of the game. He strongly disagrees. This is not a game. It is her life and his. During a joyous occasion in November 2017, Meghan and William's engagement was officially recognized in the presence of Queen Elizabeth II, Prince Philip Charles, Queen Consort William and Kate, with Meghan reportedly making a favorable impression on the Queen. However, the lead-up to their wedding was marred by Meghan's father exploiting his daughter's prominence for personal benefit, including arranging for paparazzi photos and ultimately missing her wedding day, resulting in Prince Charles escorting Meghan at the ceremony. Subsequently, rumors circulated about a discord between Kate and Meghan, particularly over an argument related to Princess Charlotte's dress for the wedding, a situation Meghan later addressed to clarify the misunderstanding. Meghan disclosed that it was actually Kate who had brought her to tears prior to her wedding. Nevertheless, Kate admitted her mistake and made amends, illustrating a gesture of reconciliation. By this time, Meghan had become a well-known public figure, evoking mixed reactions from the populace. She was a figure of division, adored by many. She was equally detested by others. This polarization can be attributed to the racially biased narrative adopted by some British media outlets and echoed by certain sections of the public. Despite the royal family's effort to present a united front, it emerged that Meghan and Harry were grappling with deep-seated prejudice and a prioritization of public image and tradition behind closed doors. Their marriage took place in May 2018 at Windsor Castle, drawing the attention of 29 million viewers. However, the media leveraged the occasion to target Meghan over trivial matters, including her choice of attire. Criticisms ranged from negative remarks by Katy Perry about Meghan's wedding dress to unwarranted social media backlash over a slight wardrobe mishap, showcasing a readiness to magnify any perceived fault. The comparison between Meghan and Kate has been a particular point of contention, with detractors unreasonably demanding Meghan conform to Kate's image. Meghan's public image, from her style to her personal history, faced harsh scrutiny grounded in racism and classism, lacking any substantive basis for critique. In May 2019, Meghan and Harry welcomed their son Archie into the world. Meghan later exposed the concerning nature of discussions within the monarchy, specifically about how dark Archie's skin might be, indicating prevailing biases within the royal institution towards race. Meghan shared the extent of her isolation and despair within the royal setting, confessing to a period where she harbored suicidal thoughts. In 2020, the unexpected decision was made by Meghan and Harry to resign from their prominent royal positions, a move propelled by the overwhelming backlash they faced. The general public was taken aback, remaining unaware of the true motivations behind their departure until later revelations. Meghan disclosed the personal toll of her royal life during an enlightening interview with Oprah, and Harry detailed their struggles in his candid autobiography, Spare. Harry and Meghan have since established their lives in the serene setting of Montecito, California. In Spare, Harry voices his growing fears for the well-being of his family. Having witnessed the tragic loss of his mother Diana, who, like Meghan, stirred public opinion and was subject to divisive views, Harry is familiar with the pain of intense media scrutiny. The Queen's acceptance of Diana and Meghan seemed tentative, given the tumultuous history. Conspiracies regarding Diana's death have been rampant, with some egregious claims suggesting the Queen's involvement to mitigate any royal complications posed by Diana's relationship with the family. Many believe that Harry and Meghan's exit from royal life is in some measure due to the lingering shadows of Diana's passing and the apparent disquiet within the Windsor family towards their situation. Following Harry and Meghan's withdrawal from royal life, Prince William and Princess Kate are the only heirs manifestly under the public's scrutiny. They epitomize the monarchy's established customs, providing a palatable display of royal norms that both fascinates and reassures the citizenry. Despite this, recent reports have surfaced concerning Princess Kate's unexplained absence, sparking public concern over her well-being and stirring fear of the worst possibilities. The recurring patterns of romantic scandals within the British royal family invite comparisons between past incidents, such as the love triangle involving Diana, Camilla, and Charles, and the reported discord between brothers Harry and William. The Windsor family, embodying Britain's elite, is perpetually in the limelight, forfeiting the ordinary privilege of a private existence. Consequently, Laura Lopez, the lesser-known stepsister of Harry and William, has opted to maintain a life largely out of the public gaze, away from the harsh glare of media scrutiny. The journey through the lives of those entwined with the royal family unveils a tapestry rich with complexity, resilience, and the pursuit of personal peace. From Meghan and Harry's bold departure to carve out a safer, more authentic existence, to Kate's navigation of modern royalty under the intense scrutiny of public lenses, and Laura Lope's deliberate choice for privacy amidst a world fascinated with her lineage, there's a profound lesson in autonomy and the courage to chart one's own path. These stories remind us that regardless of our backgrounds or the expectations placed upon us, the quest for personal integrity and the right to define our own stories are battles worth fighting. They teach us about the strength found in vulnerability, the dignity in choosing silence over spectacle, and the undeniable power of forging connections on our own terms. Now it's over to you. How do these narratives resonate with your own journey towards authenticity and peace? Dive into the comments with your reflections, and let's build a community that supports and uplifts through shared understanding and dialogue. If you find these insights as compelling as we do, punch in the number 9 to let us know. And before you go, kindly hit like, share your thoughts, and subscribe to Iconic Your engagement is not just appreciated, it's vital in helping us uncover and share the stories that connect us, inspire us, and sometimes even challenge us to think differently. Together, let's continue to explore the untold narratives that shape our world. Smokey Robinson is now over 80. How he lives is sad. Do you really know about the tragic life behind the spotlight of Smokey Robinson, the renowned singer and songwriter? The reality is far from the glittering facade we often see. Throughout his nearly 8-decade existence, he navigated through a turbulent love story with Claudette Robinson, grappled with addiction, and experienced the complexities of reconnecting with his children amidst the glam and fame. This video will unveil the harrowing obstacles he faced, revealing a side of his story that might take you by shock. Prepare to be astonished by the resilience of Smokey Robinson. Let's dive in. The story of Smokey Robinson spans 8 remarkable decades, blending moments of joy with periods of sorrow. Born in Detroit's North End to an African-American, French, Nigerian, Portuguese, and Cherokee heritage, young William Robinson Jr. had a heart full of promise. As a child, he was fondly nicknamed Smokey Joe and enjoyed the affectionate company of his beloved Uncle Claude. Their shared enjoyment of cowboy films nurtured Smokey's early love for music, leaving an unforgettable imprint on his creative drive. Thrive academically, athletically, and musically. At Northern High School, Smokey's musical abilities started to flourish. His love for enchanting doo-wop melodies led to the creation of the 5 chimes, revealing his deep and skilled artistry. Notably, he was born on Belmont Street, a mere short distance from the future star Aretha Franklin. Musical influences such as Nolan Strong and the Diablos and Billy Ward and his Dominoes deeply moved him, stirring his emotions. Barrett Strong, another talent from Detroit, was instrumental in refining Smokey's vocal prowess, making a lasting impression on his musical journey. The beginning of the band. In 1955, Smokey, alongside Ronald White and Peter Moore, founded what was initially named the Miracles, a project emblematic of their relentless commitment and talent that soared to unparalleled heights in the chronicles of music. Life presented its share of profound sorrows, including the demise of loved ones, challenges endured by his community, and his own internal battles. Yet, amidst these trials, Smokey's inventive brilliance emerged. His songs became the vessel for a range of feelings, mesmerizing listeners all around the globe. The musical odyssey. The Chino Chimes, a youthful band that began in 1955, set off on a musical journey that grew with the addition of Bobby Rogers and, unexpectedly, his sister, who went on to marry Smokey Robinson in 1958. The incorporation of Marv Tarplin, a talented guitarist, infused their music with a new layer of energy. Switching their name to Los Matadores, they polished their craft amidst Detroit's lively music scene, building a loyal fan base and aligning with the city's beat a new beginning. Nonetheless, the metamorphosis was not yet finalized. At a crucial juncture, the Skins transformed into the Miracles, signaling the start of a distinct epoch in pop music that will remain forever imprinted in our shared consciousness: rejection and resilience. In the breezy days of August 1957, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles faced the bitter taste of rejection. Brunswick Records had promptly dismissed them following an audition, leaving their aspirations in tatters, akin to delicate shards of glass scattered mercilessly on the ground. Yet in the unpredictable twists of fate, destiny held a divergent path ahead, a life-changing encounter. Their path crossed with Barry Gordy, a figure destined to transform their lives. Gordy, with an acute understanding of profound emotional resonance, recognized the extraordinary within the unique resonance of Smokey's voice and the captivating boldness of his compositions. Where others saw a road to disillusionment, Gordy saw latent opportunity. This serendipitous encounter inspired Gordy to take the Miracles under his wing, guiding them through the complex labyrinth that is the entertainment industry, ambition and uncertainty. Smokey, filled with soaring aspirations, struggled to balance his lofty ambitions with the daily grind of life. The instability of the world around him was no stranger, having shown its fickle nature time and again. In an attempt to establish solidity, he embarked on collegiate life, choosing to study electrical engineering. Yet the compelling pull of music lured him away from academic aims, beckoning him back to the limelight where he truly shined. As one of the pioneering groups under Motown Records, Smokey and the Miracles became a cornerstone of the company even before its formal inception. They brought a distinctive blend of harmony and spirited energy to the label, defining the sound of an era. Post his brief academic period, they produced their debut album, launching an extraordinary odyssey in tune that served as Smokey's solace amidst adversity. As the 1960s unfolded, marked by social and cultural upheaval, Smokey Robinson and his band composed songs that have withstood the passage of over half a century. Motown's inaugural hits that reached million-seller status bore their signature. Dominating the musical scene for the ensuing decade, Robinson and the Miracles recorded around 26 top 40 hits, each carrying undercurrents of melancholy and strife. The emergence of dynamic songwriting combos such as Holland Dozier Holland and Whitfield Strong at Motown introduced a pivotal change. Robinson felt increasingly eclipsed as the visceral and candid expressions of others began to overshadow his previously unrivaled role as the label's foremost songwriter and producer. The industry shifted its focus towards the compelling narratives of Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder, leaving Robinson's contributions somewhat in the shadows. However, Robinson's passion remained untempered. His reflective and melancholic creativity led him to write moving and profound pieces that augmented the repertoire of other artists, including the Four Tops, the Supremes, and his dear comrades in the Miracles. Through collaboration, they created a poignant narrative that explored the complexity of their experiences. In partnership with his loyal ally, Moore Pete, and amidst his personal life, away from the dazzling fame, Smokey's own existence mirrored the nuanced dualities of his songs. The turbulent love story of Smokey and Claudette Robinson. In the pantheon of great love stories, few are as complex and multifaceted as that of Smokey and Claudette Robinson. Their relationship began in the late 1950s, a time marked by social upheaval and cultural change. Smokey met Claudette Rogers when she was just 15, sparking a connection that would quickly blossom into love. Despite opposition to their interracial union, they married in 1959, a testament to their strong bond and shared vision for the future. Claudette wasn't just Smokey's wife, she was a crucial member of the Miracles and a gifted singer and songwriter, contributing significantly to the group that would help define the Motown sound. Over time, she earned the nickname First Lady of Motown, a nod to her role both in the Miracles and as a wife of one of Motown's most integral personalities. As the 60s marched on, so did the Miracles, with Smokey's soul-stirring voice and Claudette's delightful harmonies capturing the hearts of millions. Yet with the spotlight's brilliance came the shadows of personal struggle. Claudette suffered through 7 miscarriages and the heartbreak of a stillborn twin pregnancy. Tragedies that occurred against the backdrop of Smokey's relentless touring schedule. Their life at home painted a contrasting picture to the glitzy facade seen by their fans. The couple welcomed 2 children, Berry, named after Berry Gordy, and Tamla, reflecting their deep ties to Motown. But as the decade ended, their relationship faced new challenges. Smokey's infidelities became public, particularly his year-long affair with Diana Ross. The affair ended not due to a lack of affection, but out of Ross's respect for her friendship with Claudette. While the public was oblivious to most of this, these private battles profoundly affected the couple's dynamic. In 1984, the birth of Smokey's son Trey from another relationship brought hidden tensions to the surface, playing a key role in their eventual divorce in 1986. The emotions stemming from his relationship complications permeated Smokey's music, as evident in his poignant song The Agony and the Ecstasy. Yet through these trials there were triumphs. Claudette's tireless work saw her inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, alongside the Miracles in 2012. Post-divorce, Smokey wed Frances Glandy in 2002, finding a more tranquil rhythm to his life and even indulging in winemaking in their Pittsburgh home, a therapeutic contrast to his turbulent past. Despite separating, both Smokey and Claudette remained rooted in music, Claudette by continuing performances with the Miracles, and Smokey by shaping the sounds of new generations. Each would contribute to the enduring legacy of Motown in their way. Smokey's story with Claudette is a powerful reminder of the complexities of love, especially within the fast-paced world of celebrity. Their journey, deeply interwoven with the history of music, illustrates the human capacity for creativity amid personal strife. Claudette captured this narrative in her autobiography, A Miraculous Life, sharing an honest portrait of their time together, a narrative underscored by both the miraculous highs and heartbreaking lows of their shared life and iconic collaborations. While the 27-year-long marriage between Smokey and Claudette Robinson ultimately ended in divorce, the saga of their relationship offers insight into the resilience required to navigate the intersection of public adoration and private tribulation. Their love story is as much defined by its joy and music as it is by its challenges and growth, a symphony of human emotion, with each note contributing to the complex melody of their shared yet individual lives. Because YouTube will prioritize interactive videos, please comment OK if you find this video interesting. Thank you. Smokey Robinson's journey through addiction and recovery. Smokey Robinson faced a long battle with substance abuse, grappling with the aftermath of his marital separation and the demands of the music business. Throughout the 1980s, Smokey Robinson was ensnared by addiction, particularly to cocaine and cannabis. He has been candid about his past substance use, acknowledging that his dependency on these drugs stemmed from personal challenges and the stress of his musical career. "Weed or marijuana has always been my drug of choice," he explains. "I don't drink, I never drank. I hated the taste of alcohol, I still do. So weed was my choice of drugs, I would smoke some weed." Initially, Robinson's substance use was limited to cannabis, his substance of choice. Yet, following the loss of his father and the death of Marvin Gaye, he began to consume cocaine alongside cannabis. He has described this phase as one of severe addiction, admitting to being a junkie and frequently smoking cannabis laced with cocaine. "I was a junkie," he reveals. "I was hooked on cocaine and weed." During the worst of his addiction, Robinson's weight plummeted to a mere 120 pounds. "I got to the point I weighed 120 pounds, he tells Vlad TV. "I was in dire straits, it was ridiculous." And he found himself struggling to manage the demands of his professional and personal life. In 1986, he sought assistance and successfully overcame his addiction, attributing his recovery to faith and the aid of a clergyman. Robinson has been open about his addiction battles, stressing the necessity of reaching out for help and support. He adds, "I hated me for even letting me get to that point. Why am I doing this to me? Why am I getting off on all these ridiculous drugs?" A lot of stuff that was going on was getting to me psychologically. By 1986, he was able to kick the habit. "God healed me from that," says the devout soul singer. "I didn't kick it. It was preyed off of me." He has leveraged his personal experiences to highlight the perils of drug use and advocate for a health-conscious lifestyle. Solo career. By the time 1969 rolled around, it became clear that the demanding schedule of constant touring and the emotionally charged success of Tears of a Clown had taken a toll on Robinson. This particular song acted as a poignant reminder of the life he might have chosen, one of tranquility and togetherness with his wife, Claudette, and their 2 children, far from the tumult. Bound by contractual obligations to Motown, Robinson's passion for the spotlight had waned, his desires shifting towards the quietude of family life over the clamor of adoring fans. The vibrant saga that had once unfolded, a narrative rich in victories and challenges, was nearing its conclusion. As Robinson prepared to step away, opting for retirement on his own accord, the revered icon of soul found himself enveloped in an unaccustomed quietude. The music that had once surged like a powerful, sorrow-laden river had receded to a mere trickle, signaling the end of an illustrious chapter in his life. Albums like Smokey's Family, Robinson, Deep Into My Soul, Love Breeze, and Smokin' became mere footnotes in the passage of time. Robinson's once defining creativity that had steered the sound of his peers had dwindled to a faint echo. Amid this decline, however, a spark of hope flickered when Marv Tarplin, a long-standing ally and fellow miracle, reached out with a haunting melody. This simple strum on the guitar reignited Smokey's artistic flame, a flame that had been smothered by years of doubt and sorrow, and from this reawakening emerged the classic hit, Cruisin'. As it turned out, millions resonated with the type of ache in Smokey's heart, finding solace in the song's melancholic notes. Cruisin' ascended to the top of the charts, a testament that time had not silenced Smokey's voice. The track transcended being just music. It was an anthem of resurgent creative power rising from the depths of despondency. Following the success of Cruisin', Smokey moved forward with new creative endeavors. His subsequent emotional ballad, Let Me Be the Clock, featured on the album Warm Thoughts. While it didn't reach the same heights, it stood as proof that Smokey had the talent to forge timeless melodies that stung with deep resonance. By 1972, an epoch neared its end in the subdued glow of a stage in Washington, D.C. There, Smokey Robinson, a maestro of soul-stirring melodies, took his leave from the Miracles. The atmosphere was charged with a poignant mix of nostalgia for the majestic bygone days of their musical reign, leaving a somber hue upon the platform of their final performance together. Return to music. During a year spent away from the spotlight, Smokey engaged in quiet contemplation and cherished memories. Emerging from this introspection in 1973, he brought forth Smokey, an album that served as a poignant homage to his earlier days. It was a melancholy tapestry interwoven with elements of the Miracles and their harmonious legacy. Though the album carried echoes of sweet recollections, it also underscored the transient nature of bygone times. Yet the initial spark that had ignited his journey into a solo career began to dim with the release of Pure Smokey. At this point, he seemed a mere shadow of his vibrant past, struggling to align with the evolving musical landscape. Icons like Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and Eddie Kendricks had ascended to stardom, leaving Smokey's voice to seemingly fade into the background amidst the industry's ongoing transformation. Robinson was determined not to fade into silence. His 1975 album, Quiet Storm, served as a platform to express his internal battles. Songs like Baby That's Back at You and The Agony and the Ecstasy resonated as powerful anthems challenging societal injustices. This album inspired a new radio format, showcasing Robinson's enduring influence in the music realm. Despite achieving modest success as a solo artist compared to his executive role as a Motown vice president, this twist of fate didn't sway his dedication to his art. Robinson continued to sing, write, and leave a mark on the world with his music, embodying the essence of perseverance by showing that one can rise above adversity. His influence was profound, resonating strongly with his peers. George Harrison paid homage to him with the song Pure Smokey in 1976, indicating the timeless appeal of Robinson's music. Even John Lennon and Paul McCartney were captivated by his enchantment, offering their heartfelt renditions of You've Really Got a Hold on Me, cementing Robinson's legacy as an artist whose work transcended generations and inspired admiration among the greatest musical talents of the time. In 1981, Robinson once again ascended to the pinnacle of musical success with the release of Being With You. a romantic ballad that climbed to the top of the Cashbox chart and secured the #2 position on the beloved Billboard Hot 100. Additionally, it soared to the #1 spot on the UK singles chart, establishing itself as Robinson's most victorious single to that date. The gold-certified album that housed this hit single also marked the initiation of his partnership with George Tobin. This collaboration paved the way for subsequent Motown releases such as Yes It's You Lady, which featured Tell Me Tomorrow, Touch the Sky, and Senior. In 1983, Robinson's musical path intersected with that of fellow Motown artist Rick James, resulting in the R&B ballad Ebony Eyes. This joint effort highlighted Robinson's adaptability and marked a continuation of his musical voyage. After overcoming a series of personal and professional hurdles, Robinson made a remarkable return in 1987 with the album One Heartbeat. The singles Just to See Her and One Heartbeat scaled the heights of Billboard's pop, soul, and adult contemporary charts, buoyed by engaging music videos. Just to See Her garnered Robinson his very first Grammy Award in 1988, while the album itself experienced phenomenal success, with sales exceeding 900,000 copies in the United States. That same year, the British group ABC honored Robinson with their hit When Smokey Sings. Robinson's individual contributions to music were formally recognized with his induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1988. Yet this accolade ignited controversy, as it excluded Robinson's pivotal ensemble, the Miracles. This oversight rankled Robinson, but the situation was rectified in 2012 when the Miracles were inducted on their own accord. Though Robinson's name wasn't listed among the inductees, he played an essential part in welcoming his former band into the Hall of Fame during the 2012 ceremony. After MCA took over Motown in 1988, Robinson relinquished his role as vice president. He pursued his musical endeavors with the album Love Smokey, released in 1990, and subsequently signed with SBK Records in 1991 after parting ways with Motown. However, his album Double Good Everything did not make a significant dent in the charts. Robinson kept a relatively low profile during the 90s, though he made a memorable appearance in the Temptations' 1998 miniseries. His return in 1999, characterized by his departure from Motown and the launch of the album Intimate, which included the track Easy to Love, underscored his timeless appeal and skill. In 2003, Robinson once again parted ways with Motown, this time to release the gospel album Food for the Spirit via Liquidate Records. The following year, in 2004, he expanded his musical horizons by performing the main title theme Colorful World for the children's anime series Todd World. Robinson revisited his musical foundations in 2006 with the release of the Standards album Timeless Love on Universal Records. The year 2009 witnessed Robinson launching Time Flies When You're Having Fun under his own label, Robo Records, which climbed to number 59 on the Billboard album chart. His best performance since One Heartbeat. His continued releases, such as Now and Then in 2010, confirmed his lasting popularity. In 2014, Robinson unveiled Smokey and Friends, an album filled with duets alongside stars like Elton John, Linda Ronstadt, and James Taylor, which soared to number 12 on the Billboard album chart. His artistic contributions broadened further with the release of his first post-Miracles Christmas album, Christmas Every Day, in 2017. That same year, he shared the stage with country singer Cam on CMT Crossroads in April. Robinson also embraced the role of an arts mentor at Fremont Lopez Elementary School in Stockton, California, under Turnaround Arts, reflecting his dedication to nurturing the arts. In July 2018, he made a special appearance on the Fox network show Beat Shazam. His collaboration portfolio expanded with his involvement in Anderson .Paak's 2019 album Ventura, featuring on the track Make It Better. As of 2023, Robinson is poised to re-enter the music landscape with the forthcoming release of Gasms, his first album in nearly a decade, which is set to debut in April 2023. The album's first single, If We Don't Have Each Other, hit streaming platforms on January 20th, 2023, offering fans a preview of his latest work. Smokey Robinson's illustrious career has resonated across the globe, filled with significant achievements and influential contributions across genres. His musical journey is a blend of victorious tunes and profound lamentations. After pausing his career briefly in the early 1980s, Robinson made a remarkable comeback. His 1981 hit, the gentle ballad Being With You, soared to the top of charts worldwide, standing out as a fleeting yet pivotal highlight in an era dominated by melancholic, introspective compositions. In 1983, Robinson collaborated with Motown legend Rick James to create Ebony Eyes, a duet that remains one of the most profoundly beautiful collaborations ever recorded. The song solidified his enduring influence and played a significant role in his continued success. Meanwhile, the British pop group ABC paid homage to Robinson with a mournful tribute that, despite its somber tone, underscored his immense artistic impact to audiences everywhere. This period in Robinson's career was marked by a remarkable mix of both triumphs and challenges. In 1988, Smokey Robinson was honored with an induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo performer. However, this prestigious accolade was overshadowed by the Hall's controversial decision to exclude the Miracles, Robinson's greatly admired group. This exclusion deeply wounded Robinson, causing significant strain for many years. Finally, in 2012, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame rectified this error by inducting the Miracles on their own accord. Though Robinson wasn't listed as a member in this induction, being asked to orchestrate the induction ceremony offered a mix of resolution and poignancy. As we explore the saga of Smokey Robinson's career, we encounter a narrative tinged with both achievement and isolation. Following his accolades with the Miracles, the transition of Motown to MCA in the late 80s cast further shadows over him. Nonetheless, challenges continued to abound. In 1990, Robinson, finding himself at a crossroads, released Love Smokey, his inaugural solo project. Subsequently, in 1991, he transitioned to SBK Records, releasing the album Double Good Everything, which unfortunately failed to chart. This phase marked a downturn in his once prolific output, rendering the 90s a notably quiet era in his musical journey. Despite the hurdles, Robinson's passion for music never waned. In 1999, he made a comeback to Motown with the release of A Quiet Storm, a tender and intimate album that showcased his undying love for music. It echoed with the nuanced experiences of his life, serving as proof of his enduring talent. His 2003 gospel album, Food for the Spirit, released by Liquidate Records, was a testament to his spiritual journey and the healing power of music. This album acted as a revelation of his deeper self, demonstrating the formidable power of music. Because YouTube will prioritize interactive videos, please comment OK if you find this video interesting. Thank you. In 2006, Robinson embarked on a nostalgic expedition with Timeless Love, an album that revisited soulful classics from earlier times. This album resonated with a younger audience yearning for the magical essence of past melodies, marking Robinson's attempt to recapture the olden days charm. Time Flies When You're Having Fun, released in 2009, became one of his most triumphant albums in recent years, securing the 59th spot on the Billboard chart. This album transported fans back to a time, albeit briefly, when Robinson's music reigned supreme, reminding them of the musical heights he had once achieved. The challenges in Robinson's career persisted, as evidenced by the release of Engaged in 2010, which peaked at number 131 on the charts, reflecting his insights into the evolving music industry. Throughout an extraordinary career spanning over 6 decades, the legendary Smokey Robinson continues to astonish everyone with his persisting musical journey. Beyond his achievements in fame, Robinson has always aimed to impact people's lives positively, whether through his music or philanthropic efforts. In 2017, he showcased his ability to still connect deeply with audiences by releasing an album featuring collaborations with renowned artists like Elton John and Linda Ronstadt, which impressively reached number 12 on the Billboard charts. That very year, he also introduced Christmas Every Day, his first solo Christmas album, offering profound reflections on life's different seasons. Robinson's contributions extend beyond his musical legacy. He actively invests in nurturing future generations of artists. In 2017, as an arts mentor at Fremont Lopez Elementary School, Robinson demonstrated his dedication to fostering the growth of education and the arts. His influence continues to shine worldwide, bridging gaps between generations of music lovers. This was evident in his 2018 collaboration with country star Carrie Underwood on CMT Crossroads, highlighting the timeless appeal of his work. Additionally, his involvement in Anderson .Park's Ventura album underscores his role in connecting the rich heritage of old-school music with contemporary artists and audiences. In 2023, Smokey Robinson made an exciting announcement, revealing Gas as the title of his first album in nearly a decade. This upcoming collection showcases fresh and original tracks, highlighting Robinson's unending creativity. The lead single, If We Don't Have Each Other, already demonstrates the significant and enduring influence of Robinson's music, maintaining its relevance and impact just as it has throughout his career. Robinson has consistently engaged in entertaining and uplifting millions, lending support to up-and-coming artists and fearlessly facing any challenge without ever disappearing from the music scene. As he steps into this latest venture with Gas, one truth is unmistakable. Smokey Robinson's soulful artistic essence and innovative flair are bound to continue resonating for years to come. Smokey Robinson 2024, Projects and Future Plans. Smokey Robinson continues to shine as a legendary musical force with a spectacular array of projects and live performances scheduled for 2024. He invites his fans to join him at the San Diego County Fair on June 26th, where he'll take the stage at the Corona Grandstand at 7:30 p.m. A dynamic show is anticipated, and tickets for this much-awaited concert are available for purchase, ranging between $45 to $225. Additionally, Smokey is set to perform at the Providence Performing Arts Center on April 13th. Tickets for this special night are presently on sale, promising an unforgettable experience as only Smokey can deliver. Music lovers are greeted with the exciting news that Smokey Robinson is on tour, bringing his latest album, Gasms, directly to his fans. With stops across various cities in the United States from February to June, including Oakland, Seattle, Las Vegas, Providence, Nashville, and more, the tour promises a blend of Smokey's timeless classics and fresh new tracks. 2024 also marks an extraordinary time for collectors and fans alike as Smokey Robinson and the Miracles classic albums are being remastered and re-released. Albums such as What Love Has Joined Together, A Pocket Full of Miracles, 1 Dozen Roses and Flying High Together are set to hit shelves once more on April 19th, gifting fans with the polished sounds of these beloved records. In addition to these engagements, Smokey Robinson has graced various events with his signature voice. At the Griot Awards, he captivated audiences once more with a poignant rendition of Just to See Her, reminding everyone of his enduring influence in the world of music. As 2024 unfolds, Smokey Robinson remains a vibrant pillar in the music industry, with a lineup that celebrates his rich musical legacy and continues to enthrall his global fan base. Smokey Robinson's enduring commitment to philanthropy. Smokey Robinson actively participates in numerous philanthropic activities via the Smokey Robinson Foundation, demonstrating his long-standing commitment to giving back. His foundation and personal endeavors support a variety of organizations and causes that resonate with his principles and interests. His contributions to philanthropy extend to organizations like the Barbara Davis Center for Childhood Diabetes, the Miami Children's Hospital Foundation, and MusiCares. Furthermore, Robinson is deeply engaged in efforts to promote access to clean water, which he regards as a fundamental necessity for all. Robinson has received recognition for his charitable contributions, including being named MusiCares Person of the Year in 2016. At the 2023 MusiCares Gala, he was honored alongside Berry Gordy, highlighting his significant philanthropic achievements. The Smokey Robinson Foundation primarily focuses on aiding young individuals in the performing arts through the Heroes and Legends HAL Scholarship Foundation. This initiative is dedicated to providing scholarships and mentorship to aspiring young artists aiming to support their aspirations within the music industry. Smokey Robinson's foundation and his personal philanthropic efforts underscore his relentless commitment to positively changing his community and the larger world. His dedication to philanthropy reflects his desire to leverage his stature for the greater good, striving to create meaningful and lasting impacts on the lives of many. Smokey Robinson's family, the bonds with his children. Berry, Tamla, and Trey Smokey Robinson is the father of 3, Berry, Tamla, and Trey. His first two children, Berry and Tamla, were born to his first wife, Claudette Rogers Robinson, whom he wed in 1959. His third child, Trey, was born from a relationship outside his marriage during the 1980s. Berry William Baroque Robinson, born in 1968, carries the name of Motown's founder, Berry Gordy. Preferring to stay out of the limelight, Berry maintains a private presence on Instagram. He remains tightly knit with his kin, often appearing alongside his father and sister Tamla. Tamla Claudette Robinson arrived in 1971, her name a tribute to Berry Gordy's Tamla record label. Unlike her brother, Tamla is an active participant in social media, sharing glimpses of her life with the public. She enjoys a warm relationship with her father Smokey and has been vocal about their close bond. Tamla is also nurturing her own daughter, Lyric. Trey Robinson entered the world in 1984, the product of Smokey's affair. Opting for a private life, Trey's personal details remain largely unknown. Smokey has expressed remorse for the affair and its repercussions on his marriage to Claudette, which dissolved in 1986. Through the ups and downs, Smokey Robinson has kept a solid bond with Berry and Tamla. He actively participates in family milestones and festivities, such as the scholarship ceremony for his granddaughter Lyric. The dynamics of Smokey's relationships with his children mirror the intricate interplay of personal and career-driven challenges. Smokey Robinson's life, from a remarkable youth to a luminary in music with ongoing projects in 2024, reflects his evergreen zeal for art history and humanity. His tale is one of resilience, love, family, and redemption, a true musical odyssey. Share your connection to Smokey's legacy by commenting "Ah" if you're a fan. And to delve deeper into stories of legendary lives, remember to like and subscribe to Iconic Inside. Join the conversation and honor the man behind the music.